You know that feeling? The one where the English words are right there, like in your head, you know what you want to say, but it just, well, it won't come out smoothly.
Oh,
You get
yeah.
stuck sort of overthinking every little grammar thing, maybe pronunciation, and the whole conversation just grinds to a halt.
Hmm.
It's such a common hurdle, isn't it, for anyone learning English, that gap between, knowing and actually speaking.
Absolutely. It's like your brain has this internal editor working overtime, scrutinizing every single word before you even say it.
Yeah.
And that internal pressure cooker, it can really stifle just, well, natural communication.
Well, in this deep dive, we're going to tackle that head on.
Hmm.
We've been digging into insights from the English Talks with Adam and Haley podcast, and honestly, they offer some really practical, and I'd even say liberating advice
Hmm.
for breaking free from that overthinking loop and just getting your English flowing faster.
Exactly. Our goal here really is to pull out their core strategies and equip you with concrete steps, things you can actually do to dismantle that stop thinking, start talking barrier.
Okay.
So your spoken English can really, take off.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Why does this overthinking thing happen? What are the main reasons Adam and Haley pinpoint for why we get so tangled up in our heads when we try to speak English?
Well, one of the biggest culprits is definitely the fear of making mistakes. It's
Right.
that deep-seated worry about sounding silly or maybe not being understood or, even being judged.
Right.
Think about it. Your brain is constantly scanning for potential errors, and that hypervigilance can actually just freeze you up.
Yeah.
Adam and Haley talk about this, how fear basically acts like a mental handbrake on your speech.
It's almost paradoxical, isn't it? The very thing we're trying so hard to avoid making mistakes is what stops us from speaking enough to actually get better.
Mm.
And they also talked about the mental load of translation, right? That
Yeah.
constant back and forth between your native language and English.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge energy drain. Trying to find that perfect word for word match. It's incredibly time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And often you just miss the actual feel, the nuance of English expression anyway. It forces you into this slower, more deliberate pace, which really kills spontaneity.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
And native speakers, they rarely translate internally, right? Their thoughts just kind of flow directly into the language they're speaking.
And then there's that other thing, the relentless hunt for perfection. This idea that every single sentence has to be grammatically flawless before it's okay to say it.
Exactly. But, like Haley wisely points out, you don't need perfect English. You need real English.
I like that.
Real English.
Yeah, think about it this way. Language, fundamentally, is a tool for connection. As long as your message gets across, those minor grammatical slips, they're rarely a real barrier.
In fact, sometimes those little imperfections can actually make your speech sound, well, more natural, more human.
Okay, so we've got the roadblocks identified: fear, translation, chasing perfection. So how do we actually start to shift our thinking? How do we move away from seeing speaking as some kind of, I don't know, high-stakes grammar test
Right.
and more towards just talking?
The fundamental shift, I think, is in prioritizing communication over perfection. The main goal of speaking is to share your message, your thoughts, your feelings.
Yeah.
It's really about making that connection with another person.
They use that great simple example, I go store now. Okay, maybe not textbook grammar,
Right.
but the meaning. Crystal clear. You know exactly what they mean. They're going to the store.
Precisely. The core information is transmitted, it works. And that's really the essence of communication. What's fascinating is how good our brains are at sort of filling in those gaps when the main message is clear.
That's true.
It just highlights that meaning often wins out over perfect structure.
And it feels like the more you just focus on getting your thoughts out there, actually communicating, the more your grammar kind of naturally improves over time anyway.
Exactly. It's like practice just breeds improvement without you having to consciously, you know, dissect every single rule all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it like learning to ride a bike. You don't master it by just reading the manual, right?
No, you fall straight off.
Exactly. You have to get on and pedal, and you just naturally adjust your balance, your technique as you go. Speaking English is pretty similar. The more you actually do it, the more intuitive it becomes.
Okay, so the key is definitely just starting to speak. But what are some concrete, actionable strategies Adam and Haley suggest to actually make that happen faster, to bypass that internal editor?
Yeah, they offer several really practical techniques. One really powerful one is leveraging sentence patterns.
Okay.
So instead of trying to build completely original sentences from scratch every single time, they recommend learning and reusing common, sort of versatile starting phrases.
Like templates?
Yeah, exactly. Things like, I want to, can I, or I'm going to. You know, those common structures.
That's actually a really smart idea. It's like having a set of reliable building blocks you can just adapt, rather than staring at a blank page, mentally speaking, every time you want to say something.
Exactly. It massively reduces the mental load, allows you to express yourself more quickly and probably more confidently, too.
Yeah.
Another key strategy they really emphasize is embracing easy English.
Easy English. What does that mean exactly?
Well, they point out that using simpler vocabulary and more basic grammar isn't a sign you're, like, a beginner. It's actually often a feature of clear, effective communication. Even native English speakers do it all the time in everyday chat.
Right. So you don't need to hunt for the fanciest word if a simpler one gets the job done clearly. Sometimes simple is actually better.
Absolutely. Clarity always trumps complexity in communication. They also talk a lot about the power of daily spoken practice, even if it's in really low-stakes situations. Like talking to yourself, maybe describing what you're doing as you cook dinner, or even just narrating your thoughts out loud in English.
Okay, that might feel a bit odd at
It
first.
might, but it's incredibly valuable for just getting comfortable with the physical act of speaking and forming sentences in English without any pressure.
It's like warming up your vocal cords in your brain's language center without the stress of a real conversation.
Precisely. And the goal in those little practice sessions isn't perfect delivery, it's just consistent engagement with the language, getting the words out.
Makes sense.
And finally, they really advocate for cultivating the English thinking habit.
Thinking in English.
Yeah.
How do you start that?
You start small, simple everyday thoughts, like instead of thinking in your native language, I'm hungry, try to make the direct thought in English, I'm hungry, or it's sunny today, I need coffee.
Ah, I see.
It gradually trains your brain to bypass that internal translation step we talked about.
So it's like creating a more direct line between your thoughts and your English words, which naturally should lead to faster, more fluent speaking down the road.
Exactly. It's a gradual sort of rewiring of your mental habits, making English the default for certain thoughts.
Now, Adam and Haley, they actually did this cool little interactive thing in their podcast. A quick chance for listeners to put some of this into practice right away. Could we try something similar here for you listening?
Absolutely. Let's give it a go. Let's simulate that. We'll give you a few of those useful sentence starters we just mentioned. Your job. Just complete the sentence out loud if you can, or even just silently in your head. The key is don't overthink it. Don't try to make it perfect. Just finish it. Ready?
Okay, here we go. First one. I like.
Pause. Okay, next one. Today. I
Yeah.
feel.
All right, and the last one. I want to go to.
Pause. So how did that feel? Maybe a little bit rushed, perhaps a little awkward.
Yeah, probably.
That's completely normal. The whole point of this little exercise is just to start activating that more spontaneous response, to begin training your brain to generate English phrases a bit more automatically.
And like they stressed, that initial hesitation. Totally okay. It's about building that mental muscle, for quicker recall and sentence formation over time.
Mm-hmm.
And they used a really brilliant analogy to hammer this point home, comparing language learning to learning how to swim.
Ah, yes, that's such a great comparison. You can read tons of books on swimming technique. You can watch videos of Olympic swimmers for hours.
Right?
But you won't actually learn to swim until you physically get in the water and start moving your arms and legs.
Sure.
And it's the same with language. You can study grammar rules, memorize vocabulary lists forever, but real fluency in spoken English, it only comes through actually speaking.
Speak first, think later. It's a really powerful idea, isn't it? Almost feels a bit backwards at first.
It does, but it's about prioritizing action, prioritizing engagement over that constant mental prep work.
Mm-hmm.
It means embracing the fact that you will make mistakes and seeing those mistakes as valuable feedback, not failures, and just cultivating a courageous, positive attitude towards speaking.
So that willingness to just put yourself out there and speak, even if it's not perfect,
Mm-hmm.
that's way more important than chasing some impossible ideal of flawless English.
Far more crucial. Absolutely.
So for you, our listener, here's something concrete, a challenge to take away for this week. For the next 7 days, can you try speaking English out loud for just 5 minutes every day? No prep beforehand.
Yeah, just 5 minutes. And during that time, just focus on describing what you see around you, maybe how you're feeling right then, or things you want to do or plan to do. Keep it simple, keep it immediate.
Yeah. And really try to internalize that core principle we've been talking about today. Stop thinking. Start talking. You already have the knowledge inside you. Now it's just about letting it out.
Mm-hmm.
Every little bit of spoken practice, every 5-minute session will move you closer to that fluency and confidence you're aiming for.
Absolutely. Embrace the challenge, be patient with yourself, acknowledge the effort you're making. Remember, the real goal here is progress, not
Mm.
reaching perfection overnight.
Well said.
Now, here's a final thought to maybe chew on. What if the real key to unlocking your fluency isn't about cramming in more knowledge, but actually about finding ways to release the knowledge you already possess?
That's definitely something interesting to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us today.